Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you have joined us from. Welcome to our first virtual Open Day. It is lovely to have so many of you with us from different parts of the world. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sarah Bellotti, and I'm the head of the Mount Mill Hill International. Joining me on today's panel is Sarah Proudlove, Deputy Head, along with Fergus Lurie, International Marketing and Recruitment Manager. We're also grateful to be joined by 5 of our current Year 10 pupils, Hannah, Sarah, Alireza, Tassia and Herman. They are also our newly appointed prefects. The purpose of this virtual Open Day is to give you as much information as we can about our school, in the absence of being able to come and visit, which I strongly recommend you do when you can. We are open throughout the summer and we're very happy to take you around the school when you come to visit. Hopefully you can all hear and see us. You will see that the panel has virtual backgrounds, which are all photographs taken inside and outside our school. Although we are all currently on this webinar, each of us in our own houses across the globe. We cannot hear or see any of you, but we can see your questions. So do keep sending these in. I'm just going to run through the order of this presentation, which will last roughly 30 minutes or 40 minutes perhaps. In a moment, we'll begin with a brief introduction to the school. We'll then move on to look at our courses, our co-curricular programme and boarding with the Deputy Head, Sarah Proudlove. Our pupils will then give you their perspectives on different aspects of school life, and the International Recruitment and Marketing Manager, Fergus Lurie, will take you through our admissions process. And just before the question and answer session at the end, I will talk through the measures that we are considering putting in place, ready for reopening fully in September. Regarding the Q&A session, please submit your questions via the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen, and we will attempt to answer all your questions at the end of the session. Any questions that we don't have time to go through, we will email answers to you after the event. And for any of your colleagues who are not able to join us live, we will make a recorded version of this available on our website. Please let us know if there are any technical issues using the Q&A button. The Mount Mill Hill International forms part of the Mill Hill School Foundation, which comprises a pre-prep for pupils aged 3 to 7, a prep for pupils aged 7 to 13, and a senior school for pupils aged 13 to 18, as well as Mill Hill International for pupils aged between 13 and 17. We are extremely lucky with the location of our school, which is set in 150 acres of green open space, less than 30 minutes from the centre of London. We really are London in the countryside, which means we can offer our pupils the best of both worlds. They live and learn in a very quiet and calm place, but at weekends can take advantage of having a capital city on their doorstep. We welcome pupils from all over the world who are looking for a school to act as a bridge between their home country and a more traditional British boarding school. Our pupils and staff share a commitment to study. They have a strong sense of purpose and set high expectations. We have created for our pupils a very dynamic learning environment in which everyone can achieve. As well as teaching their subjects, our teachers help to develop the language skills of our pupils, equipping them for life now and in the future. The international aspect of our school means that our pupils naturally develop a global perspective, which will be vital for them in their future careers. We have a wonderful, diverse student body. Some of our international pupils may be arriving in the UK for the first time, and they might be new to boarding. Some of our British pupils may have studied abroad in international schools and are relocating to the UK after a period away. They may be boarders if their parents are remaining abroad, or they may be weekly boarders or day pupils if their parents have relocated too. Others may be day pupils who have lived in the UK for some time, but their parents have chosen Mill Hill International because of the small class sizes and the individual focus on each pupil that a smaller school is able to provide. Most of our pupils arrive at Mill Hill International highly motivated, with a clear idea about their educational journey, culminating in one of the UK's excellent universities. A few of our pupils come to the school to experience British education and may stay for as little as 1 term and then return to their schools back home. I will now hand over to Sarah Proudlove, Deputy Head, who will explain about our courses in full.
Thank you, Ms. Bellotti. There are 4 entry points into the school. The 13 plus or Year 9 entry point is designed for pupils aged 13 to 14 who are preparing to study GCSEs in the UK from Year 10. The Year 9 course is an opportunity to consolidate previous learning before starting the GCSE courses. The Year 9 programme also focuses on developing literacy and study skills. The 14 plus Year 10 2-year GCSE course entry is designed for pupils aged 14 to 15 who want to follow a traditional 2-year GCSE course with 8 to 12 subjects. Pupils study a core curriculum of maths, English, and the 3 sciences, and then choose an additional 3 or 4 subjects. The 15 plus Year 11 1-year GCSE course entry is designed for pupils aged 15 to 17 who want to prepare for A-levels. These pupils usually study 5 GCSE subjects. Additional subjects are offered according to availability, ability, and interest. We also have an entry point for pupils aged 14 to 16 who wish to join our Fast Track course. This course is designed for pupils whose level of English is not yet ready to follow the British curriculum entirely. Typically, pupils on this course will start with a pre-intermediate level of English. Pupils study academic and general English intensively and with a focus on oracy and study skills. Their curriculum is enriched with maths, creative arts, physical education, and science. Most pupils on this course will continue on to the 1-year GCSE course after the Fast Track course. A small number of pupils might progress directly to A-level. Pupils may apply for full boarding, weekly boarding, or day places, and the courses last from 1 term to 2 years. The wide variety of subjects that we offer at the Mount Mill Hill International is quite impressive for a small school. In addition to offering the usual Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 curriculum of all 3 science subjects, biology, chemistry, and physics, mathematics, English, geography, and a modern foreign language, we also offer 3 creative arts subjects, music, art, and design technology. In addition, we offer computer science, psychology, and business studies. Pupils, therefore, have a wealth of choice at GCSE. For those who are able to study mathematics at a higher level, we also offer additional maths. In English, pupils are set, and those who have an advanced level of English or who are native speakers take English as a first language. Those who need additional support in English take English as a second language. All pupils in our school have PE lessons and also PSHE, which is personal, social, and health education. Our teaching is rigorous, challenging, and exciting. And as Sarah said, we have high expectations of every pupil. Class sizes are small, with a maximum of 12 pupils, and all our teachers are qualified or trained and experienced in teaching English as an additional language. This ensures that every pupil can progress rapidly. Our co-curricular programme is hard to beat. Every lunchtime, weekend, and after school, there is something interesting and challenging to do. We offer over 200 activities. The majority of these are run on site, so there's bound to be something that will entice your son, your daughter, or your client's curiosity. We have designed our co-curricular programme to give every pupil the chance to explore new interests and build new skills. In addition to the impressive resources at Mill Hill International, we also use Mill Hill School's sports facilities. This includes an indoor heated swimming pool and sports hall, and its theatre and music school. We also do lots of our activities with Mill Hill School pupils, so your child, your client, will be part of the wider Mill Hill family. Boarding at Mill Hill International is a great way to experience real British culture because our international pupils board alongside their UK peers at Mill Hill School. We have 5 homely and comfortable boarding houses, each with a housemaster or housemistress and resident tutors and matrons who provide strong and supportive pastoral care. Our boarding houses have indoor and outdoor recreational facilities, common rooms, and study spaces. Our pupils quickly feel at home here and ready to make the most of their new environment. Rooms are single, twin, or triple, and bathrooms and toilets are shared on each corridor. I will now hand over to our prefects who will give you their perspectives about school life. Alireza will talk about Mill Hill International from an academic point of view.
Hello and welcome to this virtual open morning. So I want to just say how proud I am to be able to deliver a speech at this event. I am going to talk about our teachers and subjects at the Mount Mill Hill International. I have been studying in the school for almost 2 years now, so I'd like to think that I have a very good idea of what the academic subjects are like at our school. We have some of the best teachers for each subject, all experts in their fields. Some of the subjects that we have in the school include biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, geography, psychology, computer science, and a lot more. Learning in our school is not just about getting the good grades to pass the GCSEs, but it is also about fully understanding the material that we have to learn. For this reason, every day our teachers try to make our lessons fun and interactive. The lessons are not just about teachers speaking and students taking notes. They're also about us as students answering questions verbally, doing experiments, and a lot of teamwork. Classroom sizes are small, and this makes the quality of teaching and learning much better. Having fewer pupils in each lesson means that each one of us can ask questions and feel that we all have an equal learning opportunity in the lessons. Teachers are available all the time during the day at school and even dedicate their time to you in the afternoons and evenings. If you have a question, you can easily go to their classrooms and ask them, or you can email and they will respond in very little time. So for example, if a pupil doesn't understand a part of a subject, they can go and talk to their teachers about it and they will help them. As we are an international school and all pupils are from around the world, our teachers are also from around the world, which is nice as they understand and appreciate what it means to be from another culture. So overall, I think that in terms of academic side of life, we are a very good school. This is of course thanks to all the staff and teachers who are really caring and experts at what they do. Thank you for listening. I will now hand over to Sarah, who will focus on the co-curricular offering at Mill Hill.
At school, we must do at least 3 co-curricular activities and a session of games at Mill Hill Senior School. There is a variety of activities that give us a wide range of opportunities. The activities can be sporty, arty, or STEM activities. These activities keep us fit, active, and improve our general skills, as well as our knowledge. We learn new things, which is what I personally enjoy, and I'm sure that other people agree with me. Our co-curricular program also allows us to interact with many different pupils and teachers. Our school is quite small. It's like a small community that is easy to find your way through. Everyone at school gives a warm welcome to new pupils who may be feeling nervous. Settling into school was really easy for me as everyone around me was caring and generous, and the pupils were extremely friendly. Making new friends and settling in was really nice as there were lots of possibilities for friendships to be made. I will now hand over to Herman, who will talk about his experience of adapting from his school in China to the UK education system at Mill Hill International.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Herman. I'm a prefect at Mill Hill International School and I come from China. I'm here to tell you how my English improved in the Mill Hill International. I have been in the UK for a year. This is also my first year of studying here. I know clearly how difficult it is for pupils like me to adapt from one familiar environment to another without families and friends. And English is one of the most important things that we need to adapt and improve. When I was in China, we used to use English vocabulary books and learn words over and over again. However, we didn't have a very English-speaking environment, so we didn't have a chance to real practice English with others and just learn it from exams. At the beginning of my school life here, my English was not good enough. I could not clearly give my opinion. However, I tried to make more friends from different countries and use my free time to learn some more vocabulary in different subjects. Also, my English teacher helped me a lot. She advised me to watch some films to practice my listening and learn more words from the films. In our English lessons, we usually do exercises in our language skills, such as listening, speaking, writing, and reading, and to have a group discussion which really help us to improve and learn how to explain things from our perspective. In this great English speaking environment, we practice speaking English every day, and because of it, my English has improved significantly since this year. Next year, I will continue to improve my English through these methods. And now I will hand over to Hannah. She will talk about life as a boarder.
Good morning. My name is Hannah, and as a full-time boarder in Collington House, I would like to speak on all the amazing benefits that I've experienced over the course of last year. The second I arrived, I was welcomed by all the fantastic staff, pupils, and my housemaster. Simply 2 days after joining, I was no longer scared, but fully adapted to my new life in the boarding house. Not only does being a boarder teach you how to be independent, but it also introduces you to new people from all around the world. I personally was lucky enough to live in such a fantastic international house, which not only taught me a lot, but has also meant that I have made friends for life. If anyone asked me if they should become a boarder, I would answer yes, without any hesitation. I would now like to hand over to Tasia, who will focus on the trip that she's been on.
Hi everyone, my name is Tasia and I would like to tell you about the trips. As a full boarder, I go on lots of trips at the weekend. This helps my friends and I to get to know each other better and have fun. Every trip is fun and very entertaining. I learned lots of things about London from going on those trips. My favorite trip was one where my friends and I had a bus trip around London and then we went shopping. However, I also love the trips to cinema and bowling. And the most amazing trip was to Winter Wonderland. I had to forget about time with my friends. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to our pupils there. We've definitely missed having them at school and we're looking forward to welcoming them back in September. So I know there are some people attending today who have already been through this process, but I just wanted to speak to those who are still considering their options and planning for the future to give you some information about the application process here at Mill Hill International. as Sarah mentioned, there are 4 entry points to MMHI: Year 9 for the 2-year GCSE, 1-year GCSE, and the fast track course. If you're ever unsure about any of this and the most suitable entry point, please do not hesitate to ask us. We're always happy to help. The admissions team will be continuing the work throughout the summer, and we'll do our very best to respond to you as quickly as possible, ideally within 24 hours. And given the change in circumstances, we will be able to invigilate any entrance exams remotely as well. So once you've decided on the entry point, we will ask that the online registration is completed and via the website, and that the registration fee is paid. Once this is received, we will then issue the entrance tests. Our entrance tests consist of an online English test, a written task, and what we call a CAT 4 test. This is a bit of a problem solving and logical thinking test that gives us a more rounded view of our applicants. We also, of course, will have to ask for a copy of the applicant's passport and their 2 latest school reports. Assuming all of this is completed successfully, the applicants will then be invited to an interview with Ms. Bellotti, our head. This will be done via Skype, perhaps, or Zoom, or in person with everything allowing. And following on from that, she will be able to review all of the previous documents and make a decision as to whether we can offer a place. So this year we were very lucky. We had a group of around 35 different nationalities, and we always aim to have a great nationality mix at the school and also a great gender mix of boys and girls. We'll be available for any questions and make sure you have the relevant contact details moving forward. They will be shared at the end of this. For those already with a place in September 2020 as well, we will be in contact with our joining forms and handbooks in the very near future. These will outline things such as any uniform requirements and the like. But for now, I'd like to say thank you and hand back to Ms. Bellotti, who will give you a little bit more information about the school opening in September.
Thank you, Fergus. I understand there was a little bit of a technical glitch before and you couldn't see me. Hopefully you did hear me well. So I'm going to talk now about September reopening, and I see that some of the questions that have come through are specifically about opening in September. So hopefully I'll be able to answer them here, but then I will also address every single question specifically. So we are opening in September on the Sunday, the 6th of September. Our boarders will arrive and classes will start on the Monday. The British government recently announced that they plan for all pupils in England to make a full return to school at the start of the autumn term. So we have been planning for this. From July the 4th, England is opening up from its national hibernation, given that the transmission levels of COVID-19 in the community have now dramatically reduced since the lockdown period was introduced. The social distancing rules will change from keeping a 2-metre distance to keeping a 1-metre distance. And most non-essential businesses will be open from them, have already opened actually, from the Monday the 15th of June. And on the 4th of July, we'll see pubs, bars, restaurants, cinemas, libraries, and museums and other areas of the economy reopening with COVID secure measures. Just 1 hour before the start of this webinar, the DFE has published full guidance for the reopening of schools in September. So this is really hot off the press and I haven't had time to digest it all yet, but I'm just going to quote a couple of things from that guidance. Now that the circumstances have changed and the prevalence of coronavirus has decreased, the NHS test and trace system is up and running, and we're all clear now about the measures that need to be in place to create safer environments within our schools. The risk to children themselves of becoming ill from coronavirus is very low, and there are negative health impacts of being out of school. So all pupils then back in school in September. Of course, the safety and security of our pupils is and always will be our #1 priority. And for the last couple of months, we have been putting together COVID secure plans to enable us to reopen schools safely. The plans are outlined in our reopening document, which I believe most of you should have received by now. If not, we will send it to you after this, although that is dynamic. We are changing as we have new government guidance. The document is a detailed account of measures that we intend to adopt. obviously subject to change now that the lockdown measures are eased and the government advice has changed. But the main highlights of our planning I'm going to outline now. The BSA COVID Safe Charter. So the Boarding Schools Association, of which we are members, has outlined the main measures schools who have adopted this charter will comply with. The charter can be accessed on our website, and you can see that at your leisure, but I will outline now some of the measures that are mentioned within this document and also further steps that we're taking to ensure the safety of our pupils. eBuddies. All our pupils will be partnered with an existing pupil to ensure that they can begin their integration ahead of their arrival and start to feel at home as soon as possible. Our prefects here will be making contact with our new pupils who will be joining us in September so that they can answer any query or concern of our joiners or our joiners' parents. Quarantine, again, there's been some very recent news and there's going to be an announcement tomorrow about the changes in that. The UK is preparing to lift its quarantine rules for 75 countries. The exemption list is due to be published tomorrow, Friday, the 3rd of July, and it will end the Foreign Office ban on non-essential travel. However, if it is still in place, any aspects of it are still in place in the autumn term, we will make provision for this at school, and boarding pupils will be welcomed at the school from the 24th for the 2-week period of quarantine, if still in place, at no additional expense to parents. Although providing these quarantine procedures, other arrangements, of course, as agreed with parents and pupils and guardians, are acceptable, as long as they comply with the relevant immigration guidance for the country concerned. Bubbles, households, groups. Mill Hill International pupils will be assigned to specific boarding houses in order to create a secure community bubble. Bedrooms will have specific bathrooms assigned to them, and with the recently published DfE guidance, we will be planning for how we group pupils together to minimise contacts between the groups. Introduction of iPads. As part of our recently developed digital strategy, all pupils will be using their own personal iPads. In addition to providing an excellent digital resource in classes, it also means that we can minimise the sharing of classroom resources, such as textbooks, worksheets. Pupils will be able to send their work and receive feedback, as well as unlimited access to online resources. Blended learning, and I'm going to come back to this specifically to answer one of your questions. For any pupil who is unable to be present in class at the start of the autumn term, whether due to visa delay, flight availability, we will ensure an online provision of the curriculum is available. Social distancing. As I said before, the current government guidance is that pupils should be seated within a 1 metre distance from each other within the classrooms. I haven't had time to read the full document that's been published today. I'm not sure if that's going to be maintained in the document. I will find that out. Teachers are advised to remain at a 2 metre distance from pupils and to limit the amount of movement around the school, and where possible, we will reduce the number of classrooms people will be using. And a one-way system will be put in place where possible to avoid any unnecessary contact in corridors and stairways. The use of shared or communal areas will be monitored in line with our social distancing requirements. Rotas will be considered for the use of common areas such as the kitchens, common rooms and TV rooms. Masks and face coverings. The wearing of masks or face coverings will be allowed for both staff and pupils. It's become much more common in the UK, London in particular, to see local residents wearing face coverings when out in public areas or in confined space, such as a supermarket. Face coverings were made mandatory on public transport on the 15th of June. Testing and self-isolation. Pupils will be tested as soon as they arrive in the UK. Further testing procedures will be put in place, and we will advise pupils, parents and guardians accordingly. We will ensure that all staff and pupils have their temperature checked regularly, making use of our non-contact thermometers. In the event of anyone displaying symptoms of COVID-19, areas of self-isolation will be made available. Hygiene and cleaning. Deep cleans of all areas of the boarding and within the school will be conducted prior to opening the school and boarding. And more regular cleaning within the school days will also be taking place, paying particular attention to common areas, to toilets and handles. Regular hand washing will be encouraged, and hand sanitizers have been installed throughout the schools and boarding houses. Well-being. Alongside the physical health of our pupils, their mental well-being is equally important, and pupils will be provided with an enhanced opportunity to raise any questions. We will educate the pupils regarding the virus, and preventative measures will be put in place in the school and in the wider community, ensuring that tolerance and understanding is held at all times. And now I'm going to answer some of the questions that have come up. I think some of them have been covered, but I'm going to answer them again anyway, just so that you hear them. So one of the first questions was, this is from Hirad. According to the coronavirus pandemic, what is the school's decision for the year? Is it going to be online? No, we're not planning for it to be online. We are opening in September. So as I said, schools will be opening, the boarding will be opening from the 6th, school will start on the 7th. I think I'm going to be answering all these questions. I was hoping to send some of these questions to other people, but I think I'll be answering all of these. So the next question is from Mahin. Good morning. I've got questions about deferring the offer because of the unstable situation. Is there online class available if a student can't travel in the circumstances? Yes, that will be available. We are looking into what we're calling the blended learning model. Obviously, the situation is developing. You know, it's now the 2nd of July. I suspect by the end of August, the situation will have changed considerably. There is no longer, for example, the need for quarantine, and all of these measures that are the easing of lockdown and the easing of these measures is because COVID-19 is less prevalent in the UK. So it is likely that we are expecting all our pupils to stay and to be able to arrive. However, if that is not possible, then yes, of course, that will be available. The third question, again from Hirad, when will the school start precisely? I'll say it again. It's on Sunday, September the 6th for boarders, and I think I've got it right, September the 7th for day pupils. And right, this is a question for prefects. So I'm going to decide which prefect can, well, maybe several prefects can answer this question. How do prefects feel about going back to school in September? So I'm going to start off with Ali Riza, and then I'll pass on the question to others. How do you feel, Ali Riza, about coming back to school in September?
I am feeling very confident.
Yeah, so when the last time you were in school, when was it?
Like it was, I think February. Yeah, February. Yeah.
Maybe it was February for you. I think for the rest of the pupils, it was March the 18th, I believe, was the last day, wasn't it? So yes, we're all looking forward to seeing everybody back again. How about you, Hannah? How do you feel about coming back to school in September?
I have to agree with Ali Raza. I am very confident about coming back. I know it's going to be safe and probably not the same as always, but we'll have the same exciting feeling.
Great, that's good to hear. How about you, Herman? How do you feel about coming back to school in September?
Actually, I think I feel so confident, the same feeling. Sometimes maybe a few nervous because of the coronavirus, but most is happy and glad to come back. It's such a long time.
Yes, of course, and I understand that nervousness. And you've just heard now me talk through all the measures that our school is going to be taking up, and we will make sure that everybody gets that, not just the joiners, but the old pupils as well, so you know all of the things that we're going to do to make sure that you're safe. How about you, Sarah? You're a day pupil, aren't you? So how do you feel about coming back into school?
It's quite exciting because we haven't been in school since March, and it would be nice to see all the teachers and the school again.
Yeah, it certainly will. And Tasya, how do you feel?
I feel like I'm really excited because I miss my friends so much.
Yeah, we do. We miss you too, and we miss our colleagues. We're really looking forward to coming back into school. Right, I think that concludes. Oh no, sorry, there are some more questions. So this is a question from Vivian. After finishing international courses, can our students upgrade to the Mill Hill A-level directly? Now, I'm going to pass this question to our deputy head. So it's a question about doing A-levels at Mill Hill School.
Thank you. Well, obviously, there are many pupils in our Year 11 who want to go to Mill Hill School for their A-levels, and this is certainly something that we really encourage. It's obviously an excellent school and a great choice for A-levels. Our pupils do need to go through a rigorous admissions process to go to apply to study for A-levels at Mill Hill School, but it's an internal admissions process. So it's handled by us during the autumn term. The examinations that pupils in Year 11 take in November are used to create a portfolio of data which is taken to Mill Hill School for a meeting to discuss each pupil and their suitability for A-level. In addition to this, pupils in Year 11 have to attend an interview with a senior academic staff member at Mill Hill School, which is an opportunity to talk about their candidacy for A-level, to talk about their suitability for the A-level subjects that they have chosen. Once this process has taken place, we have a meeting with a large group of staff members around a big table where each pupil's application is discussed in detail. And then at that stage, a recommendation is made whether to offer the pupil a place at Mill Hill for their A-levels, or perhaps whether we might consider waiting a while. Not all pupils will be ready in November, December of Year 11. So the good news is that there's a second opportunity. This process happens a second time around March, April. So for some pupils, it would be yes, immediately in the autumn. For other pupils, it's let's wait and see. And then again in March, April, it would be yes, you've been offered a place. Or possibly we might say that actually the pupil is not ready for A-levels at Mill Hill School. If this is the case and a pupil does not succeed in being offered a place at Mill Hill School, we have the support of a Year 11 coordinator. I work closely with her and with the pupils and their families, and also tutors are highly involved in advising pupils about other opportunities, other schools, other colleges that they might apply for if they have not been successful at being accepted to Mill Hill School. This year, we have almost half of our Year 11 pupils going to Mill Hill School, and we're really excited about that. So it's a great, the transition, of course, is then very smooth, and we can ensure that pupils can settle confidently and integrate into Mill Hill School, where, of course, they already feel part of the community.
Thank you, Ms. Bradler, for answering that. I think we've finished now our questions, and it is now 11:43, so we've been going for over 40 minutes. We're going to publish this webinar on our website, but if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us and we'll be answering those. Thank you so much for attending. It's been great that you've had this opportunity. It's our first virtual open day. And if you have any further questions, as I said, we will be able to answer them. Thank you.
There is one more question that just come in from Dimitri.
Dimitri, thank you. I didn't notice it because I hadn't scrolled down. Thank you. Right, and the question is about sport activities. Will there be any changes? I think, Dimitri, I explained that literally a few minutes before this went live today, we had new guidance from the Department of Education about how our schools will open in September. And it's something like a 40-page document. And I'd only read about 3 pages before our webinar started. I suspect there will be reference to how we're going to organise our sport activities. Yes, there will be sport activities, very much so. How they will change, I suspect there will be also changes for that. The level of detail of those changes, I'm afraid I can't tell you right now, but I certainly can find that out, and I will definitely let everybody know about that. But we will very much be using our wonderful 150-acre site, so we have a lot of space here, so social distancing should be possible. How that's organised in the team games, I don't know yet, but I will let you know. Thank you very much, and goodbye.